Okay. What's up, guys? This is a follow up to my video from yesterday. I was talking about Liam Neeson and I was cut off from the live feed, so I didn't get a chance to start back. But what I was talking about with him in regards to what he said, and we already know he did an interview with some English newspaper, I believe it was The Independent, and he described how he prepared for a particular role that he did by remembering the alleged rape of a friend from 40 years ago. And the only description she gave, according to him, was that he was a black person. And from that point on, and he asked what color was he. He didn't ask what he looked like. He asked who was he, what color was he. And he decided to go out with a club in black areas to kill any black bastard that got in his way. So it wasn't that he was going after the person that did this. He was going after any innocent party just based on the fact that they were black. He was going out to murder with the intent. He was going out to hunt a black person with the intent to murder. That's what he stated in his interview. And I've listened to people try to defend him. Of course, Whoopi Goldberg tried to defend him. Uh, Michelle Rodriguez, I saw, tried to defend him. Some other people have spoken out in favor of a man by the name of Jason Barnes, who's a footballer in England. He said Liam Neeson should get a medal for what he said. Let's pause the brakes on that, for instance. Now, it is good that yes, you have a discussion about race. It is good that we have these discussions about hate crimes, about racism, about stereotypes. It's very important. So, in that regard, it is a good thing if you want to say the least. Look at it on the flip side that Liam Neeson came out and said these things, although we already know the things that have been going on. What happens is that there's a shock value that at 66 years old, everybody else in mainstream media is appalled at what he said, and rightfully so. But we as black people have known this stuff has been going on for years. What I don't like, and where I look at it on the other hand as a black man, is that he basically asserted what many white males across the world, not just in America, but Liam Neeson is from Ireland. He's Irish. They have a long history in Europe, of course, with racism and prejudice towards blacks. He basically stated what was in his heart and mind and his intent to murder. Granted, it was 40 years ago, and to his credit, he said he was ashamed of what he did. Do I think he should stop working? Not necessarily, but am I going to support him? No. It's hard for me to even, you know, given what he described, he didn't even have to describe, give that statement on the on the flip side too. He could have kept something like that a secret that you tried to commit murder, a hate crime against someone, and we don't know if he succeeded. I don't believe he murdered anyone based off what he says. We don't know all of the facts, and we don't even know if a rape occurred. That's another thing. What if this woman was lying? Had he gone out there and did this? It's just like what happened with the Rosewood incident, or the Tulsa, Oklahoma race riot, even the Scottsboro boys, George Stymie, Emmett Till, and even now Bill Cosby. You know, these allegations of rape without evidence that we're seeing. R. Kelly, Michael Jackson. Speaking of which, do you all know that? And I don't know what, I don't think anything has come from this, but they're now talking about Michael Jackson molesting his chimpanzee Bubbles. They're also talking about having his body exhumed to prove that he was a child molester. Now that came from Radar.com, and Radar.com is basically a gossip website, so I take what they say for a grain of salt. But on yourweb.com, EUR, Your Web, they had reported, I saw the headline that Michael Jackson was abusing his pet monkey. Now, there is clearly, guys, our dead are not even safe. You know, your reputation can be damaged even when you're dead. You know, Michael Jackson has been dead for 10 years now, and I'm seeing this violent, these attacks, these uh, baseless lawsuits, these bullshit lawsuits that are being orchestrated against so many black men without evidence, without proof, and they're trying to kill this man again. They killed him the first time to get, this is my opinion, to get his music catalog. That's what I believe. Just like Sam Cooke, that was another one who they tried to make out to be a sexual predator, and now Michael Jackson's been dead for 10 years, and they're doing a documentary on two losers who testified on his behalf, two liars. We need to wake the fuck up and realize what's going on in this country. So maybe Liam Neeson saying what he said may be therapeutic for us. That it opens up so many minds who that were closed that didn't think that are hypocritical and don't think that this stuff goes on. But am I gonna applaud him, give him a Medal of Honor? No, that's too far. It's true we do things and people say things that years later they regret, and this very well could be career suicide for him, or at least attempted career suicide, because we've heard white Americans say some even terrible things, like Mel Gibson, who told his wife he hoped she would get raped by a pack of niggers. This is what he said. And Mel Gibson is still directing movies in Hollywood. He directed the last movie I saw, Hacksaw Ridge, World War II movie. So maybe it could be a good thing that he said this, but I do think it has to be put in context, and we can't go around doing this splaining that I'm seeing. And earlier I saw, D.L. Hughley defending him. Now, DL was stating that, well, Liam Neeson said, he was going to beat a black person, which I think, while I admire DL as a comedian, I think that his comments can be counterproductive, because he is, I haven't met DL. I've talked to him through social media. I didn't agree with the way he acted with Bill Cosby. I didn't, and I don't agree with his comments on Michael Jackson, where he said, "Well, if we mad at R. Kelly, we gotta be mad at Michael Jackson." Michael is dead. He was exonerated, but his comments today with Liam Neeson, and I said this, were counterproductive, because the way he made it sound, he was talking about how we're shocked at what we saw. People are reacting because they're shocked. It's this knee-jerk reaction and so forth. I'm paraphrasing. But no, man, people are reacting because he attempted to commit murder. That's the issue. He could have killed an innocent person because of their race. That's the problem. Did he do it? No. Fortunately, nobody was hurt. And and nothing can be done to him. There's no criminal charges, obviously, because this happened. I don't even know if this happened in the United States or where exactly. But to hear something like that you tried to commit murder, is abhorrent. It is shocking. Um, you know, and yeah, he probably would have qualified if at that time. If he wanted to kill niggas, he could have joined the police department. But please don't try and explain this stuff. Please don't try to defend it. I mean, am I gonna stop? Would I stop watching a Liam Neeson movie? I don't know if I would support him. Uh, I don't think right now I could, and I'm being honest with you. And he was somebody, I liked as a kid. The first movie I saw him in was Dark Man, that I can remember. It was Dark Man, which was in 1990. Sam Raimi and uh, who's the a guy that played Durant was the villain, Larry Drake. Yeah, he played Dr. Giggles. These are some old movies, classic movies from the 90s, early 90s and late 80s that I'm thinking of that these guys were in. Back then they had malls and yogurt stands and Tales from the Crypt, things like that, man. Those bring back some special memories, you know. But it was disturbing to hear, people that defend him or speak in favor of him. They obviously know him. Whoopi Goldberg, and Whoopi is the same woman that was sleeping with Ted Danson and brought him out in blackface in front of the Friars Club. She's always made excuses for white supremacy. She defended Mel Gibson. She defended after his rant. I know she defended Roman Polanski. Now she defended Bill Cosby at one point, but if you remember when after she had Beverly Johnson on that show, Whoopi Goldberg was called into ABC's offices and they told her basically you better stop or else you're gonna lose this job. And the next day when they had another attorney come out talking about the statute of limitations and how Bill Cosby can be in trouble, I'll never forget she said, Bill, you're gonna have to answer for this. So she didn't really defend the black man. She stopped defending the black man, but will defend a white supremacist and a convicted rapist like Roman Polanski straight up. Monique called her to help. I mean, honestly, I people are showing their true colors, guys. I'm not saying we don't have fun, don't live your life, but beware. Beware, guys. But that's just my follow up. I'm gonna go enjoy a nice birthday workout. So take care. Peace.